Okay, so the title of this video, I know it seems really over the top, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It is exactly as it says. Fist me for $100. I never thought I'd be actually saying that line to you guys, but it reminded me of a story back when I was in high school. And funny enough, the story that I'm about to tell you guys, I literally got reminded by on a live stream I did literally the other day on Twitch. So I am actually currently live on Twitch if you guys don't know. So click the link down in the description below and join me live right now as I'm talking to you guys and telling stories like this one. And on top of that, guys, haven't already, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. Let's shoot for 1,000 likes on this video because it seriously means a lot when that happens. And other than that, let's get into this crazy story. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba and welcome back to another crazy video. So today's video, funny enough, it's honestly a lot. And by a lot, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, high school is one of the most craziest things you guys will ever experience. No matter what, no matter how old you get, you will always remember high school as one of the most weirdest things possible. Because if you think about it, middle school is when kids start to hit puberty, and when you go to high school, that is when you're full on in your prime of puberty, meaning hormones are the most active they've ever been. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, for guys, yeah, we know what guys do. You know, if you guys that are watching this video right now, you know that we hit hormones like crazy. But as for girls, well, it's a different story for them. For girls, I think they hit maturity faster than guys. And honestly, sometimes some girls just don't hit that maturity level. And this one time, I remember I was walking down the hallway of my school, and I remember my buddy comes up to me saying, "Yo, bro, like there's this girl I really want you to meet. She's really energetic. She's really good, and I think you'll like her." In my head, I'm thinking, oh, okay, like, you know, sure, why not? Because my buddy knows that I'm always like, you know, looking for a chick to, you know, do the devil's tango with. So I straight up said, okay, like I'm down, like I'll just follow you and show me where she is. So I follow him throughout the school, and I remember we ended up going to the auto shop. Now, if you guys don't know what the auto shop is basically where you can learn how to be a mechanic, learn how to, you know, deal with cars and all that cool stuff. It's actually really exciting. Anyways, I remember I go in there, and I remember I start, like, you know, basically looking around for this girl that my friend wanted me to meet. And I remember he drags me to this one girl that was under a car. So all I saw was her legs, and she was wearing like booty shorts, which was a major W because she had a really nice peach. But going on, I remember I ended up walking up, and she saw me from below. She saw my shoes at least, and I was wearing some pair of Air Forces because that's what every kid wore that time. And I remember she slides out from under and says, "Oh, hi." I look at her, and she's actually not that ugly. She's actually like a pretty, like, decent, attractive girl. Other than her missing a tooth, like she was decent. So I remember I looked at her, and I'm like, "Oh, hi, like what's up? My name's Bubba." You know, I tried to play it cool. My friend looks at me, and he's like, "He's the guy who does a lot of the devil's tango." And I remember I looked at him like, "Bro, like quiet, bro. Like that's weird, bro. Don't be weird, Champ Andy." The girl looks at me and giggles, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, I heard you have like a lot of experience around the school." Whatever that means. Like, dude, I didn't do the entire school. I only did like, I don't know, maybe 60% of them. Like, relax. Anyways, going on. I remember this girl looked at me, and she was just talking to me about cars and stuff, and how she was like a car girl, and she loves a Miata and all that cool stuff. And I was like, oh, like, that's cool and stuff. Like me, I'm not a big car fanatic, but I know my cars. You know, I'm manly enough to know my cars. So I was talking to her about cars, and I told her I drove a Celica. If you guys don't know, at the time I drove a Toyota Celica. It's my baby. I love it so much. It's on my Instagram. If you guys want to follow my Instagram and see it yourself, go for it. It was a really good car, and I remember I pulled it up to show her to the auto shop, and she loved it. She's like, "Oh my goodness, this car's so cool." I'm like, "Thanks. Yeah, I put LEDs in it, you know, like the typical kid in high school would." And she looked inside of it, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, can we go for a ride after school today?" I looked at her, and I looked at her peach, and I'm like, yeah, 100%. I'm down. She looks at me all smiling and all excited, and she added me on Snapchat, and throughout the whole entire rest of the school day, she was texting me on Snap. She's like, "Oh my goodness, like how much horsepower is your car?" "It's stock." "OMG, like did you do anything to your car?" "It's stock." "Oh my goodness, you should like change the color of it. Did you like change it? Is it like always been blue?" "It's the stock color." Like I didn't know what to tell this girl, bro. It was just a basic Toyota Celica. As much as the car can be modified and loved with, it's a basic car, girl. Relax. Anyways, I remember after school came, and she came into my car, and she like sat in my car, and she loved it. She instantly just fell in love with it. She kept looking at my dashboard. She kept looking at everything. And this girl, I'm not gonna lie, kind of dealt with it kind of rough. I don't know what was up with this girl, but this girl was like really rough. Like I remember while I was driving, she like grabbed my arm all of a sudden, and she like squeezed my arm. Like she had like man strength. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't mean to sound sexist in any way, but she had like some kind of Superman strength, and it was weird Champ Andy. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't even have that kind of strength. I mean, for a girl who works on cars all day, I guess it made sense. Anyways, I remember she grabbed my arm, and I remember we ended up going to get some food. We got some McDonald's because hell, who doesn't love McDonald's in high school? It's cheap, it's easy, it's a win-win scenario. And I remember we drive up to this viewpoint. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, out of all the devil's tango I've done, a lot of it has been on this viewpoint. This viewpoint was very popular for, you know, teenagers to go up and do the devil's tango when you get your license. So I remember I drove this girl up there. We ended up sitting up there, and we ended up eating our McDonald's and watching the view. And this is where things get worse. I remember as I'm eating my, you know, my wrap, and she's eating her burger, I remember this girl ate like a pig. Like I'm not joking. I'm not one to make fun of women for how they eat. The girl's like, if you don't use a napkin and you have stuff drooping all over your face and it's just ultimately disgusting, I'm not gonna be attracted to you. It's common sense. So I remember I looked over, and this girl was like spilling in my car. It was just disgusting. Like, it was the disgusting of the disgusting. And I remember I looked at her and I'm like, do you want a napkin? She looked at me. She's like, I'm all good. I'm all good. Dude, absolutely disgusting. Like, you guys have no idea. Anyways, I remember I ended up, like, you know, cleaning up my car, putting the garbage away. And, you know, as I put the garbage away, I remember I sat back in my car and we started looking at the view. It was getting towards sunset. It was more of a romantic time. And I remember I looked at her. I'm like, so, like, you know, like, any ex-boyfriends? I usually ask this question to a lot of girls about if they have ex-boyfriends, because it's good to know what baggage a girl has. Because let's be real here. Nowadays, every girl has done some guy or had some kind of emotional damage. Either they pull the I'm depressed card, or, you know, they just go totally emo, or they go gay. I mean, it's a good choice. Anyways, I was talking to her and I was talking to this girl, and I remember the one thing she told me that really made me feel off. She looked at me and said, nah, none of that. No man can handle me. Whatever that means. I looked at her and I'm like, okay, relax. Like, calm your ego, okay? This is me we're talking about. I probably have more Devil's Tango experience than you. And she looks at me, she's like, oh, really now? And I look at her and I'm like, yeah, 100% I do. Then she looks at me and says, do you want to test that? I remember I look at her and I'm like, what do you mean? Test that? What does that even mean? She pulls out her wallet and she's like, I bet you $100 that you won't fist me. What? This girl wanted me to get my whole entire fist. Like, people that are watching this video, literally put your fists into like a full-on fist motion, like you're gonna punch someone, and think about shoving that up your butt. Yeah, that's literally what she wanted me to do to her. Yeah, I looked at her and I like had my eyes wide open and I'm like, are you serious? She looks at me, she's like, yep, do it right now. I remember this girl starts taking off her pants and I'm like, oh, okay, whoa. I'm not actually gonna do that. Like, whoa, relax. She looks at me, she's like, see, I knew you were vanilla. Vanilla? Did you just call me a vanilla? Did you call me a shake? I don't know these slang terms that kids have nowadays. It makes ultimately no sense, but this girl saying that I was vanilla is ultimately just cringe. I probably have 10 times more experience than her still to this day. I remember I look at her and I'm like, okay, you need to relax. You need to put the $100 away. I'm not gonna do that. And she's like, I'll give you $1,000 for me to do it to you. What? Bro, I remember I was panicking. I'm like, you're not touching anywhere near this peach, bro. Are you serious right now? I was disgusted. I was panicking. I'm like, you need to stop. You need Jesus. Like, I'm not joking, guys. Like, this was a major concern for me. So I remember I look at the girl and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna drive you home. You need to leave. I remember I drove her home and I remember I saw her cars in the parking lot and stuff. Apparently she works at Cars at Home, and I told this girl, you need to calm down and you need to like find some other kinks to like. The girl looks at me, she's like, oh, like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're just so vanilla. Like, every guy's done it to me. What? You're telling me every guy you've ever seen or hung out with fisted you? Are you serious right now? Yeah, I don't know. That girl was like majorly psycho, and to this day I don't want to talk to her, nor do I talk to her, because, you know, it's weird champ Andy. But at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. It's how it is, and you know what? I'm kind of done with it. And on top of that, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys do leave a like and subscribe. Honestly, this is the end of the storyline. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this story. It seriously means a lot if you guys do press that like button. And on top of that, I'm currently live on Twitch. If you guys haven't clicked the link in the description down below and join me live as I'm telling these amazing stories, go for it. And like I always say, follow for more embarrassing stories, or watch one of these new videos that are posted and you guys can watch more stories. All right, anyways, peace out, guys.